This video is to help load your fabrication database into a fabrication product and helps explain the way you can path it. So you just got your first fabrication database and you want to load it to see it in Revit. Well, first thing we need to do is we need to load a configuration. So when you come into this front window in any fabrication product, the first window you'll see is the configuration window. You can either create or you can load an existing database. Okay, so if you click the create button, this is going to generate a completely blank database with no data in it. If you go to add link, you are going to establish a link to run the configuration. So first thing we need to do is understand where the database can be located. Now, the database itself has a root folder. In this case, it's called the working database. And beneath that is the actual database itself. Folders that you should always have data in, the database folder will always have data. The ITM folder or items folder. And if, depending on how the database was built, you might have a reports folder or an MIS folder. Okay. But the important thing to understand here is this is the database. The database is not just one folder within the database. Okay. Now, fabrication actually has three databases in it. The first database is right here. This folder contains all of the files for setup, connectors, seams, specifications, materials, things like that. Okay. The second database is your ITM folder. ITMs are their own individual database, and what you do is with properties, you apply your database values to your ITMs. Finally, the last database that is inside of your database is called the Product Information Editor, or the map prod is what we call it. This is keeping track of all your product list data as you keep adding content into your database. Now, again, as I said, the database itself is always going to be the root database that contains all of these folders. Okay. So to add this to our configuration, we're simply going to come up here to add link, and we'll go find it anywhere on our server or our network system. If you want to, you can path it to a cloud drive. Okay. One thing I will tell you about pathing it to a cloud drive is please make sure you always keep it on your computer. Okay. So right here, I'm just coming to find the working database and find these folders underneath it. So I just pick the root directory and I say select. It will right away come up with a place that you can add your name. And I'm just going to say OK. Now this database is a brand new link to your content. Okay. Now that we have that linked up, the other thing that we need to talk about is the difference between a master database and a working database. Now, a master database is a database that only the person working on the data has access to. So you're going to pick a person that will monitor and keep adding data into your database. He's going to work on a pristine copy of that database that only he can make mistakes to. Okay. That way it's easier to clean up. Then what you're going to do is you will take that working database folder right here, and you'll put this on a cloud drive, so anyone in your company can access it. So I just come here real quick and I just copy it and I push it to wherever I want to on my cloud drive so everyone can see it. Okay. That's the working database. So what happens will be the master database will be worked on when it's ready to be downloaded for everyone to use. They'll take a copy of the working database and they'll just paste it right over the top of that working database. I mean, a copy of the master database. Sorry about that. What that will do is it will allow users to keep using it in Revit while you still have someone working on your content so you get more content for your models. Okay. So as you can see by the image, the master database and the working database are actually cloned from each other. Okay. And what we're going to do is that master database that you'll work on will be copied to the working database. So that way all the changes that you have made will become live inside the Revit project. There's another way to go look at your configuration. If you come down here to your start window, and then in Windows 11, come up to the all, search under the S for fabrication, and select the fabrication product that you're using. Select that folder, and inside the folder is an edit config. If you left click on edit config, it will bring up and allow you to select your database. One thing I don't want you to do is I do not want you to check this box right here. Okay? Never check this box. If you do, you need to come back in here and change it. But we'll select that database, and then we're going to see the file paths of all of our folders within the database. Every folder should be within the database except for the project folder. The project folder right here, sorry, right there, if you double click onto the path, you can go choose a brand new location of where that folder can live. The big thing is we do not want project data in with our database because that will just clutter it up and make it very large when it doesn't need to be that large. So select that folder, put it wherever you'd like to, say apply, and then say OK, and you have a brand new configuration saved.